Hi guys, this is Giuseppe Tino with another video, and today we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. First, I would like to welcome you. So if you are new, welcome. My name is Giuseppe Tina, and this channel is about my transformation while being on a GLP1 medicine. I am currently on compounded tirzepatide, and I've been for a few months now. If you are old or an oldie but goodie, welcome back. I appreciate both my new and my old subscribers. I believe we are currently at 35 Titans right now. So welcome to you all. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So we're going to get right into our Thanksgiving tips and suggestions that I have. First and foremost, holidays can be a triggering time. Um, so I would recommend that you know yourself first. And if you know that you are bothered by certain things, don't put yourself in that situation. You can't police the words and the decisions and the choices of others. However, you kind of know yourself and your family, so if it's too much, don't feel guilty about checking out on Thanksgiving or the holiday season and having something a little bit more intimate just for you and your immediate family, or you just make the holidays work for you. I always say put the mask on yourself first because you can't help anybody else if you can't help yourself. So let's kind of get into it. Well, first and foremost, if you are on your journey and have been on it for a little while, you might have noticed some changes in your body, your face and your body. And if you haven't seen your family members for a while, they might possibly see those changes as well. Family is a funny thing. I know for me personally, every time I see my great aunt, she always talks about how much bigger I am than the last time she saw me. And sometimes I'm bigger, and sometimes I'm not, and sometimes I'm the same. But then in the same breath, she says, "Hey, do you want something to eat?" So she basically called me a cow 1 minute, and then 2 minutes later, she's offering me dinner. Now I'm not trying to shade her because I'm almost 40. In all of these years of living, I don't really remember her being underweight or average weight. So she's a little thick herself. She's a little thick to be throwing stones. You know the old saying, if you live in glass houses, then you should throw stones. But that's neither here nor there. I realize that that is just the relationship that we have. And with older people especially, they feel that it's their right to disrespect you. But you don't have to tolerate that. If you don't want to be involved in your family functions, don't go. If you go and you feel that the behavior is not appropriate, or you feel like they're disrespecting you or addressing you in a manner that you're not comfortable with, you can always call them out on this, or you can leave. You don't necessarily want to cause a scene at the holiday festivity, but you also don't really want to be disrespected by your family members either. So I think you just have to really know your audience and know what you're going to get from them. Now, if they see you, now let me tell you how funny family is. They'll call you a cow every time you see them, but then when you start to get skinny, then that's a problem too. Oh, your head then got so big. Oh, you losing weight. Oh, you wasting away to nothing. So, I mean, you're never going to totally satisfy everybody. So just be cognizant of some things that you might run into. Now, if you have lost weight since the last time you saw your family and it's noticeable, they may ask you what you're doing. Now, you have to really determine if they're asking because they're concerned and they might possibly want to do it themselves, or if they're asking because they're trying to be judgmental, or if they're asking because they're trying to be nosy. Well, it really just depends on how much information you want to share. You're not obligated to share your weight loss journey or your health information with your family members. I'm going to say it again. You're not obligated to share your health information or your weight loss decision or choices with your family members. Now, if it's something like cancer that might possibly be genetically um, related, then maybe you should share, just to say, hey, I got this. Great grandma had this, grandma had this. I'm just letting you know. That's like a different type of situation. But as far as your weight loss, it's nobody's business. You can keep that to yourself, or you can choose to share as much as you wish to share. So, for example, if they see you and say, oh girl, you done got skinny, you can say, yes, I'm working on myself, or I'm trying to watch what I eat and exercise more. You can just give them very vague responses if you choose to do so. You can also say, yes, I'm just putting me first. Some things like that if you want to just say something because it's noticeable and you can't pretend that it's not noticeable. So you can say that if you just want to give them general information. If there is if there is a special cousin or a close cousin or a sister cousin that you might want to share more information with, you can go into details and say, hey, I'm on these weight loss shots, blah, 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 blah. You might have heard of Mounjaro. It's similar to that. Or Zepbound or something like that. But you don't even have to say that if you don't want to. It's all about your own personal comfort level. You have to decide what you want to share with your family members and what you don't want to share. If you choose to share your information and you get a negative response from your family members, that's not your fault. That is up to them. And if they want to continue to be negative, you can just change the subject and say, hey, I just don't really want to talk about it anymore. Or you can say, hey, maybe we should table this and talk about it at a different time. Because it is the holiday, so you don't want to necessarily make your other family members feel a certain type of way because you're arguing with your cousin about how safe these injections are. But I'm basically trying to say it's all about your own individual comfort level and how much information you're comfortable with sharing. Don't feel obligated to say all of the fine details, but you are free to talk about it if that's something that you want to talk about. It also can be a motivational thing. Maybe one of your bigger cousins see that you're getting smaller and they pull you to the side and say, hey, cuz, can you tell me a little bit more about Zepbound or Tirzepatide or Ozempic or semaglutide, whatever medicine you're on, then you can say, oh yeah, I'll tell you, and da 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 da, and I go here and get it, and you can share some YouTube channels, mine preferably, but you can just give them some general information. Sometimes people are scared um to try certain things just because they don't know anybody who has a firsthand experience, or they know somebody who has had a firsthand experience and it has not been good. Your experience might not necessarily be their experience. So I would try to encourage them. And if you know that it's changed your life, then share that with them. Um, I was on Facebook the other day and one of my distance cousins had made a post about people getting bariatric surgery and how they were fake and phony because they used the surgery to get thin and now they want to be in the gym acting like they work for this body and they're walking around with their heads looking big. Y'all look weird with a big head and a little body. Now this is me verbatim saying what she said. And some of the other relatives, chimed in like, hey, I did that for my health. I don't regret it, da 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 da. And then as she started to get called out, then she tried to say, well, I didn't say everybody. I said some of y'all. Like, but honestly, it was given hater. It was given jealousy. I mean, it sounds like you want a big head and a small body, ma'am. Maybe if you talk to them nicely, they might show you how you could possibly get approved. Or they might share with you some other less drastic measures you might be able to take. I think at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to appease or please everyone. So you just have to do what's best for you and block out the haters and the naysayers. Um, Okay. So that's what I wanted to talk about as far as, bringing up the conversation. Basically, you can choose to engage or not engage, or you can choose to match their energy or not match their energy. Just remember, try not to get too ridiculous because this is the holiday and, it can be a trying time for some and you just don't really want to have, a whole bunch of arguing and fighting at the dinner table. As far as the food is concerned, I don't really have too many food recommendations. What I would recommend is you just try to be cognizant of what you normally do. If you normally eat what you want and just eat smaller portions, do that. If you want to try to stay protein focused and just eat meat and veggies, do that. If you like to be low carb, do that. If you want to take a little holiday and do something special, do that. I'm not telling you specifically what to eat or drink, or what to consume. However, I would say just be cognizant of things that kind of upset your stomach or give you GI problems. For example, if you know that fried foods just don't sit well with you, I would try to avoid fried foods. If you know that dairy runs right through you, I'm sorry, then don't consume dairy. Just, you want to have a good time with your family, but you also don't want to pay for it the rest of the night on into the next day. Now, some people may choose to skip their shot because it's the holiday, but there are going to be a lot of holidays and special occasions. And if you're new to your journey, I don't necessarily recommend skipping your shot because you just want to try to get used to taking it. But again, I'm no medical professional and you do what's best for you. What I would recommend though, you could also eat before you come and then just bring like a little Tupperware with you. And then when people pressure you, because they probably will pressure you like, hey, I ain't seen you eat. Why ain't you eat? Especially if you're a little bit thinner, then they're going to be trying to see what you eat and secretly judge you. You can say, oh, I ate before you came, but if you don't mind, after everyone else has ate, would it be okay for me to take a to-go plate? Those places are okay with that. But some places you gotta kind of get in early because like the good stuff get going real quick. But most of your family members, most of the time, there is more than enough food, so there should be enough for you to take. But you would always want to ask the hostess, if it's okay for you to take something. And most of the time, they'll be like, "Yeah, girl, get you something." What I do recommend though is, maybe, especially since people are going to be looking at what you're eating and questioning you about it, instead of getting a dinner plate, you might want to get a dessert plate and just have a little bit at a time. And it's okay to eat a small portion, move around, talk to a few people, socialize, and then come back and eat a little bit more if that's what you want to do. Just make sure you're not stuffing yourself to capacity and don't get, especially older people get real upset if you get a whole bunch of fruit you don't plan on eating. So I would really recommend just getting like small portions to what you're going to be able to feel. Sometimes, especially with our journey, our eyes are bigger than our stomachs. So we decide that we want this and we want that. But in actuality, once you take a few bites, you're kind of full. So don't be wasteful of the food. Just make sure that you're only putting on your plate what you can eat. And if you can't eat it, then maybe you should ask for like a foil or something where you can take it to go. Just so you can look, gracious. You don't want to be seen throwing a whole plate of food away. Older people especially don't like that. So be mindful of your portions. Be mindful of eating things that you know that won't agree with you. If you know it won't agree with you, just leave it alone. Um, yeah. So that's all I have to say about food. Basically, do you, but just be cognizant of what you should and shouldn't eat. And if you know something doesn't agree with you, leave it alone. Like for me personally, I know that like fried foods aren't really the best for me. We're not gonna have anything fried this Thanksgiving anyway. But if they had like fried turkey or something like that, I might risk it all for the fried turkey. But more than likely, I just try to be cognizant of what I eat. I don't think I have as many problems with commercially fried foods. I think just I have more so problems with foods that are fried at home, like in the vegetable oils. I think the oil makes a difference for me. So yes. Another thing is, I think the last thing that I want to say in regards to the holidays is, um, well, maybe the last two things are if you are traveling with your medicine, just be cognizant, of that. Like if you're flying, you're probably already where you're supposed to be. But if you are flying, just make sure that you have your prescription with you and you keep your medicine in your carry-on and that you try to have it on some ice. If you are traveling by car or bus or something like that, I'd probably still keep my medicine relatively close and make sure that you're traveling with it on ice. Now, you don't want the medicine to freeze, but you just want to keep it chill. So just, check it and make sure it doesn't freeze and make sure that your ice pack is cold. You know how the medicine is delivered to you on ice. You just want to make sure that you're um making sure that it's cool and at the correct temperature. Um, oh, also, if you're traveling, make sure that you take some, and this might also be good for Thanksgiving dinner as well. Make sure you bring you some digestive enzymes with you if you use digestive enzymes, or make sure you bring some tummy medicine in case you have some tummy troubles while you are on your holiday break. So I think that is all that I have to say for now, but I'll check back in with you guys later. Thank you so much and have a good Thanksgiving. And one last thing that I forgot to admit, I finally got a turkey breast, so I'll probably do a short about the marinade that I'm going to do, and the turkey breast video probably won't drop until Thanksgiving Day, but later on tonight I plan on doing a short with the marinade. So if you guys haven't injected your turkey or turkey breast yet, stay tuned for that video. I'm going to show you how to do it if you don't have, like the marinades that come in the bottle. So that is it. That is all. Have a good holiday season and tune in for my next two videos. Um, so I'll probably drop the actual baking of the turkey on Thanksgiving, but tonight, Wednesday, I'm going to do a short with the ingredients that I'm going to use for the marinade. So stay tuned. I love you all. Be safe and have fun. Just remember to put you first this holiday season and let's continue on. Stay strong, Titans. I love you.